Fred, you've been running FedEx for 40 years. You're chairman and CEO of an amazing company that you founded. And people look at you as an exceptional leader. What do you think is the key thing that made you such a great leader?
It's having an effective strategy and everyone understanding what that strategy is, their place in the organization to support that strategy, and then making it a good deal for them to be involved with this team that executes the strategy.
So you preside over more than 400,000 employees at FedEx, and as you're trying to groom this next generation of leaders, what is your message to them so that they are more leaders than managers?
Well, the most important thing that I say to people is what we're doing at FedEx is extraordinarily important to almost every citizen on the world. We bring people and possibilities together, and your particular role in this organization to achieving that, whether you're an aviation mechanic, a pickup and delivery person, a weather forecaster, an IT specialist, is an integral part of producing this commercial product that's so beneficial to the world.
Almost every business leader is worried about disruption, about coming up with the next new thing and being a disruptor. And I'm sure that this is something that concerns your team at FedEx. What do you tell them about how to manage through that kind of competitive pressure?
Well, I think there's an old saw, I don't know who said it, but whoever it was pretty smart, that said, if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. So the most important thing is to make sure that the culture of the organization understands that you have to change constantly. And if you have an organization that's not capable of looking at the horizons and seeing threats of disruption or technological extinction, then it'll happen to you.
Your life story is amazing, especially those bumpy years when you were starting out with FedEx. As you look back on your life and your career, what would you say was the best leadership advice that you ever received, and why did it guide you throughout all these years?
Well, I think the best piece of leadership I ever got was from Staff Sergeant Richard Jackson, who was my first platoon sergeant when I got my first command in the Marine Corps, and I grew a mustache. I thought I was Errol Flynn or Clark Gable. I thought I was dashingly handsome, and I took to chewing a cigar thinking I was making an appropriate martial image. And I said, well, Sergeant Jack, how am I doing? He said, Lieutenant, you're doing great except for two things. He said, shave that ridiculous mustache off and quit chewing that cigar and be yourself, because you can't lead these troops out here unless you are who you are, and they'll see through a phony in a minute. And I took that advice. I've never tried to be anything other than myself. I was pretty much that way before, but I thought I needed to do something a little different in the Marine Corps, and I think that was the best piece of advice on leadership I ever got.